No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
Alright guys, welcome back to more Ignorance in Basketball. Before we get into the video, I just gotta shout out the second channel. Just made it. We're 2 videos in and I'm trying to post on there every single day, okay? Like I told you guys earlier, I was doing stand-up before that great pandemic that we're going through. And this is like my way of doing that still, you know? It's my comedic outlet, if you will. It's like this channel, but I talk shit on other stuff. And I think it's funnier. But you guys go check it out. Let me know what you think. But let's get into the video because the Suns won, finally. It had been a minute. And your boy was a little bit pissed off. I'm sure I wasn't alone. Actually, I know I wasn't because you guys told me. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They weren't amazing, but they played enough to win. Like the first quarter was bad. There wasn't a lot of effort. People were missing defensive assignments. One dude had like that dunk just wide open under the rim like we're at the park. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here? Honestly, I think Alfred and JaVale, they're still figuring things out. I still see them. They look a little lost on defense sometimes. And I'm like, bitch, you're a professional and you're supposed to be a good defender. Why are you fucking up so much on the defensive end? And it makes my stomach hurt, but it is what it is. They're not the only ones. I think there's going to be some growing pains. It makes sense, especially with Payne out. So, I'm not tripping. I don't think the Suns aren't going to make the playoffs or anything like that. I still think they should easily be the number 1 seed in the West. They just got to get it together a little bit. They started off kind of slow last season, and, this season's looking a little worse, but I get it. You're tired. You made it to the finals. Devin has COVID. Chris Paul's 117 years old. These are all facts. So I think they'll figure it out. Hopefully people start making their free throws again. Talking to you, Chris. What did he miss? 3 or 4 in a row the other game? I'm like, am I in the fucking Twilight Zone? It's probably like the first time he's ever done that in his whole damn career. He shot 92% last season? Alright, I do apologize for interrupting another 10 out of 10 video, but I did just get another message from YouTube itself. Yes, it is an entity, and they wanted me to tell you that if you subscribe to both channels and like this video, YouTube, not me, but YouTube will be sending you Gundam Wing on DVD. Now, not the entire series because money does not grow on trees, but something from the first season. That's what I would hope for. It might be random. I don't know. I don't make the rules. Now, I'm giving too many details. Some of you probably think this is real and not a joke. And if you do believe that, then I would probably just like it anyway and see what happens. Now, let's get back to the video. Christopher Paul, what the fuck? But it is what it is. They got the win. The free throws didn't mean much, but it still made my chest hurt just a little bit. I did take some notes on things that I noticed because I'm a professional. First off, message to JaVale. Love the coast to coast. That was beautiful. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This was one of those times that it did, and it was muy bien. I love his approach to offense in general. He's just always on the attack, and I think that puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Sometimes it's goofy, but, sometimes it's not, and that's why you're a backup. So the coast to coast was great, but you need to stop falling for every single pump fake. I feel like if I was in the league, I could get this man with a 3-point play, and I'm like, JaVale, what are you doing? You're 9 feet tall. You don't have to jump. Your arms are long as shit. Just stay your ass to the ground and take a breath, okay? It's not that serious, okay? Relax. You need to relax a little bit. You look like you have anxiety or something. You're just too jumpy out there. Calm it down a little bit, okay? And secondly, like I said, love the effort. Everything else is great. Now, people, we call that a compliment sandwich. You start off positive. You say what you're actually thinking in the middle, and then you end positive. Some of you are going to be bosses out here, and I just made you a better one. I'm changing the world. YouTube, you're welcome. Promote the channel more. I know I say fucking that makes you mad, but who gives a shit? I'm actually a good person, so fuck off. Yeah, I noticed that he misses some defensive assignments, especially like closing out on threes. He's not great at that yet. Hopefully that'll get better because obviously that's important in today's NBA. And then Alfred, I just see him lost on defense a couple times throughout the game. And, he'll get it together. He's a good defender, always has been. So I'm not worried about that. Plus, he's a third string. So when Cameron Payne comes in, he ain't going to play anyway, probably. They might try playing him and Cam at the same time. I could see it. But probably not, because then Shamet's not going to play. What's he going to play? The 3? It's too small. Don't like it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? And lastly, I want to get your guys' opinion on Sticks. How did you feel about the Sticks minutes? This is my thing. You guys know, I just don't want to give up on Sticks quite yet. Some of you are with me. A lot of you are like, Kamal, let this shit die. He's fucking gone. He sucks. Let it go. But I just feel like they have something here. Because look, he's not making the jump shot. I get it. Okay? He's not hustling as much as he could be as far as running the floor, things like that. At least that game, I didn't really see it that much. I've seen it in stints, like, throughout the Summer League, but, it's the fucking NBA. This ain't the Summer League, bruh. Lil B tried out for this. Oh, wait, no, that was the D League, not the Summer League. But it's the same shit, basically, right? So, I get it. But I just feel like they have something here. Because if they could really get Sticks to play where I think he could play at, I just think, like, him and JaVale being able to solidify the defense in the front court or the second unit's front court, that would be muy bien. That's all I'm saying. And he can get boards already. He's already a good rebounder. I think he's like a solid defender. Not crazy, but I think he's better than average. Like, he basically took Nader's spot, right? Obviously, they don't play the same position, but, things drop down. So, he's basically taking his minutes. And as far as I see it for Nader, because you know how I view basketball, ring season is the only thing that matters. When it's the finals, I don't want to see Nader minutes. I don't. Nader's taking minutes from Devin. He's taking minutes from Mikal or Cam Johnson. Or Crowder. I trust all of them more than him. They can do what he does, basically, but better. Nader's good at driving in, kind of. He's a little uncontrolled, and sometimes he gets offensive fouls. He's not a great shooter. He's undersized. He's not a great playmaker. And look, me saying these things, I hate to do it because I like Nader. But I'd rather, if you're going to, experiment with minutes, I'd rather experiment with those minutes on somebody like Sticks, because you don't really know what you have yet, than Nader. Because with Nader, you know what you have. And it's something not good enough, in my opinion, to trust when it comes to the finals. Or really any series against a really good team. So that's why I'm like, just don't get these fucking Nader minutes. I don't know why Monty likes to play him so much. Well, I think I do. He adds something different. He actually attacks. He's one of the few players that attacks. But you have other players that do that now. Like Cam Johnson's starting to do that more often. He's putting the ball on the floor a lot. Mikal is too. And Shamet does that. So I think that's enough. So the bench is pretty solid. Or I think at least it will be solid once JaVale and Alfred, Alfred's not really going to be playing, but Shamet too, he was ass. I think he had some good looks, he just missed them, so he's not really confused. I think he's just, just didn't shoot the ball well last game. So I'm not worried about him, more worried about JaVale a little bit. And I'm not worried, but you guys, I just got to let you know what I'm seeing. He still needs to work some shit out, I think, like I said. Shovelhead will get it together. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, the bench will be solid, I think, pretty soon. Once Cam Payne's hamstring heals and JaVale gets into the flow of things and all that stuff. Or Alfred, if he's playing, once he gets in the flow of things. So you have some room to play around a little bit. Especially if you don't go full deep 5. But I would like them to do that more. Devin has fucking COVID. He hasn't had a break in a year and a half. Chris Paul's ancient. So I think them going having a full 5 deep second unit, I think is the move. And I like Cam Payne, Shamet, Cam Johnson at the 3, then fucking Sticks, then JaVale. That's a big team. So that'll help you defensively. That way you don't have Cam Johnson being an undersized 4 and getting into foul trouble and shit like that. That's what I would like to see. But I don't know. Obviously, I'm not the coach just yet, so it's not my call. Another thing I wanted to say about the game, I feel like when DA plays well, nobody can beat this team. If he's engaged, if he's playing good defense, especially if he's going against somebody that's smaller than him, nobody can really stop him. Because like I said, he'll either blow past you or he'll shoot over you. So the fact that he has this athleticism and skill and like this weird body type where he can switch off onto guards, he really is the perfect center for this team. The only thing about him is just his mental. Like sometimes he's engaged, a lot of the times, especially last season, he wasn't. So if he could just stay engaged, and he doesn't even really have to worry about staying out of foul trouble because you have McGee now, so you have somebody, that can take your spot if you're in foul trouble. So really, all he's got to worry about is staying focused. So if he could just stay focused and not be a bitch, he could be really, really fucking good. And next time they want to talk about max contracts, it'll be the easy decision to sign you. So I did just want to point that out. I noticed like when he really turned it on, the game changed because like I said earlier in the video, first quarter, no effort. Second quarter, they turned it on a little bit. Pretty much got it tied. They went up by 4, and then third quarter was pretty much over. I know they kind of took their foot off the gas, but I'm not going to be bitching too much when you're playing against the Cavs at home, and you're up by 17, whatever, with whatever minutes left, and you take your foot off the gas a little bit. It's not the biggest deal in the world, so I'm not going to be complaining too much about that. So I think the Suns played okay, better than they have been. I'm not mad at that. I think this season they've played 2 good halves of basketball. They played 1 good half against the Lakers and 1, I can't even say good half, 1 decent half against the Cavs. The second quarter and the third quarter. So that's what I've seen this entire season. Everything else is just, they just look like a step late on everything. Some people just missing assignments. Some people just not hustling at all. And a lot of short shots, a lot of bad missed free throws. It's been fucking weird so far. But like I said, I'm not worried. They just went to the finals with a super short break. So I'm really not tripping. So I think that's it. We don't need this video to be too long. I will see you guys soon. Peace.